What's going on, everybody? Today's May 15th, 2019. Right now, the moon's at 90%, 90.5%. The current time is 10:46 and 30 seconds p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The moon direction is 171.19 degrees south. Moon altitude is 51 degrees. Moon distance is 230,000 miles, 230,420 miles. Next full moon will be May 18th, 3 days from now. It will rise at 5:15. Now that we got all that technical information out of the way, if you remember all of it, it's 230,000 miles away right now. 230,000 and a half about. It was 420. That's pretty cool. But once again, right now the time is 10:47, May 15th, 2019. The moon is heading south at 171.53 degrees. The altitude is 51.10 degrees. Alright, now we got that out of the way. Let's check it out and see what we got. I'm actually going to post this video up. I usually don't post many of them up because I was a little bit weird talking to the camera, but what we got here is a Huawei 13 megapixel phone on a Celestron 760 millimeter, and I got my camera a little closer to the secondary mirror. It's a reflector telescope, Celestron Newtonian. It makes this picture upside down and left and right is reversed. But I took out one of the pieces that has a 45-degree angled mirror, and it gets me a lot closer to my mirror, my secondary mirror, instead of using a third reflective mirror. Then you can see things like what looks like a giant flat object. Like, it would be so big you would think it would be like a mountain. So I don't know what just flew past that, but something did at 3 minutes, I think, almost even. But right there, that is a big plateau-looking thing. It could be a building, a structure. You see it right there on the screen. See it? Yeah. Alright, that's my Huawei 13 megapixel. It's zoomed all the way in. Another thing I've been interested in is some of these black areas look like they're not exactly flat. Like there's little shapes and things going on. Like those might be just lower areas, and that might be why they're darker. Here's the thing that interests me. I don't know how good it's showing up, but a lot of times there'll be this, see that blue ring? I guess it's a little piece of the blue sky you see during the day. It's just at the edge of the moon. The rest of it's dark, and that's bright. That's my biggest guess. But either way, at the right angle and the right distance, that whole line gets very blue at the edge. And again, this has been modified a little bit, so we get a little bit better detail on this. I'm pretty good with working on stuff, and this Celestron Newtonian, it was missing a stabilizer bar, and it was actually had no lens at all to look through at the two mirrors. And I just went straight with the phone holding lens, and you can look through it with your eye. And I recorrected the star finder, so it made it a lot easier to find this for you. this is a side that interests me a lot because the other side's a lot flatter. You have to excuse the glare. It's a side effect of not having a lens on here, a lunar lens, but this allows me to see all them shapes. Look, there's a lot of rectangles, there's a lot of things that are lit up on that terminator line where the shadow starts. There's a long gouge and another gouge out area, kind of like, looks like the Grand Canyon type area. And aside from that, I see a whole lot of different shapes along that terminator line. That terminator line almost looks bubbled up like a continental shelf. It looks like that could have been filled with water to the left side. I mean, I'm just saying that's what it looks like. And then when you look at this bottom part, you'll see that it's really slick compared to the rest of it. And the way I see it, this is it here. This is the spot to the left of the screen. You can see some little white dots that look like they could be something of interest. And you can actually zoom in on them and see what's going on there. But from this continental shelf looking area where it turns black, it's really, really smooth. If you'll notice, most of the craters are not in this area. You can see that this area looks relatively uncratered. This area looks super cratered. I mean, this used to be the back report that gets hit by a lot of craters all the time. I mean, that's well known. And it's slowly moved around. It wouldn't be absurd to think if something hits the moon over and over and over, it affects how it spins. I mean, an earthquake affects how the earth spins. So, the earthquake in Japan or somewhere like that, might have been India, sped the planet up like a few seconds, a year or something. But I mean, it sped the planet up, so large rocks hitting that could cause it to turn a little bit over time. That would be expected. But the reason I think that is because just how smooth this is. I mean, look at the darker areas. There are some places, and they look like if they got hit hard, but everything's flat and smooth. Like if it did get hit, it was very rarely. When you look at this part, not so rare. There's not a slick spot on it. You go there, and man, that's slick. That, to me, here's my theory. I think the moon is an iron ball. I think the moon is the molten core of a planet, and I think either the meteor belt or somewhere is the crust of that planet. And somehow this used to be a planet, collided with something else, and knocked everything but its frozen core that used to be a molten core, but as it drifted through space, it froze. It had a collision. It lost a fight, slowed down, and got locked in our orbit in a tidal lock. The collision could have stopped the spinning it had as a planet too, so that kind of fits on in there. But I just thought I'd do a recording now that I actually have the guts to talk to the camera and let y'all check out some of these spots that I find interesting. I mean, when you had this right here, sorry about the shaking. You move this thing, the wind blows. I can't record because you take this clear image right here. I mean, not clear. You take this smooth area right here, and mind you, there's what, probably 20 or 30 little holes in it here and there in the smooth part. But I mean, mostly little. I see about 3 of significance. And then you go here. I don't even know what's going on with this towel shapes. I would think these were tall shapes because that's where the shadow kicks in and those are reflecting light. So I just naturally assume that those are taller and reflecting light, and that's why we see those shapes. But what is it that's so tall? And this here still looks like the edges of an ocean. Like that would be the land what we're looking at. This lumpy, mountainy stuff would be the land. And that lower area that's flat would be the sea bottom. All the places that are round like that and look flat and iron, those could have been deep compressed places in the bottom of that planet. Had this been a planet with a core, it's hard to say, how many things have actually hit it and just turned to dust and made the mile or two, however thick it is. I don't know how thick the dust is supposed to be on the moon, but I propose this brown area is more iron than dust, and all that moon dust is meteors that's hit it. I also propose that since this side is relatively unscathed, and this side is rough as can be, that it has moved, that some of the backside of the moon is smooth, and I'd like to know what y'all think about that. That spot going across the screen right now, that's my biggest spot of interest right now. I can see if it gets in closer, yeah. I got a little bit more zoom. And I don't want it to be blurry. What is that? I want your opinions in the comments. If you watched it this far, tell me what is that thing that looks like either a giant mountain or a huge building. It's definitely flat looking and tall, and it's moving out the left screen. But y'all hit me up in the comments. It's been Mark D. Sanchez, and I'll holler at y'all later.